Welcome, SENS Talk.
Here comes Sanderson and pass across to the stars. He bats it in. Tim Stützle wins it for Ottawa. Triple Grant is going to put the finishing touches on an Ottawa win. See you later. Go SENS go.
Welcome to SENS Talk. My name is Brandon Plant, and I am your host tonight. The Ottawa Senators took on the New York Islanders as they look to win 3 straight for the first time this season. They had a huge win last night against the Nashville Predators, looking to build off of that to make it 3 in a row against the New York Islanders, a team in which they lost to just about a month ago by a score of 4-2. Just keep that in mind. I'm just going to put that out there. But a win today would tie, us with Tampa and Philly for a wild card spot. Obviously Tampa Bay won. Philadelphia, by the time you're watching this, might have won. Their game started about 15 minutes ago. So let's just say it's a big game here for Ottawa, not only to just build off of 2 massive back-to-back wins, make it 3 in a row for the first time this year, just get on a winning streak for the first time. That would be great. But more so, just for standings purposes, to get back into that playoff conversation, literally like getting back into that conversation by being tied for that playoff spot, and as well getting back to over 500. Going into this game, Ottawa has a record of 12-12-2, looking to get over 500 for the first time in just under a month. The last time they were 500 was when they were 8-7-1 when they lost to the Philadelphia Flyers in that epic collapse. Ottawa in their last 6 games, they'll go into this one 4-1-1. So a lot of reason to feel very confident going into this game. Now for the New York Islanders, it's Ilya Sorokin starting for them. A little disappointed to see that, not because I don't like seeing a good goalie against Ottawa. Usually it's a sign of respect, when you have a elite starter go against you on a back-to-back situation, which this was, and keep that in mind for a topic we're about to talk about and definitely talk about in the game notes, that being Linus Ullmark and Forsberg, who should have started tonight for Ottawa. We'll save that real conversation for after the post-game recap portion of all of this. But back to Sorokin, his backup tonight is Marcus Hogberg, former Ottawa Senator. It's great to see him back in the National Hockey League. In a way, maybe it's better he didn't play against Ottawa. Probably would have got a shutout knowing how Ottawa does against former goalies of theirs. But great to see again that he is back in the NHL. Now for Ottawa, as I kind of already alluded to, their starter would not start back-to-back. It would be Anton Forsberg starting tonight for Ottawa. It's a 2-7-0 record against the Islanders going into this game with a 3.62 GAA, a goal against average, and an 890 save percentage. Not great whatsoever, but Forsberg as of late has shown reasons to have some confidence in him. So, maybe he can build off of those recent performances and get a win. But I'll just say this briefly to kind of preview the conversation in the post-game notes. But frankly, I would have started Ullmark in this game. He hasn't played a lot this year. This is the first time he's ever played really a few games in a row. Sure, it's a back-to-back, but we have 2 days off after tonight. It's an early start as well. A lot of time for rest before a late start on Wednesday against Anaheim. So, again, I would have started Ullmark, get him into a groove. You're paying a goalie a good amount of money for a reason. These are games that you need to win against teams like the Islanders. So put your best out there, and that should have been Linus Ullmark. I don't care if it's a back-to-back. Again, Ullmark has played back-to-back games before. He's played a heavy workload before, whether it's Buffalo or with Boston. He's played a lot of games before in a season. It's not like he needs to be handled, as a fragile piece. He can play. So, again, it's not like going with Forsberg is a dumb decision. Again, not every single time your starter is going to go back-to-back. I understand the decision at the same time to go with Forsberg. But as we'll talk about in the post-game notes, and I'll talk about, Ullmark's numbers and whatnot, he's finally getting into a groove. Should have let him continue that groove. But anyways, here we go with Anton Forsberg to the first period of play, and in the first minute, Ottawa is jumping and getting a real good look. That third line starts again for Ottawa. It's been a few games in a row where they start the games. Travis Green clearly likes the way they match up against some top opponents. Shane Pinto, another great performance tonight. Did not get a point. I'll just spoil it now. But he had a great look out front early on. Nick Cousins hit the post as well. Amadio had some good opportunities too. He just missed the net. So that third line in the first minute, right away, giving Ottawa a really, really good opportunity. And Ottawa would keep on getting the opportunities. They, frankly, were the better team throughout this entire game, and we'll talk about that as this video continues. But especially early on in this game, they were dominating, and they would get rewarded with a goal as Tim Stützle, my goodness, Timmy Stu, feed the German, my goodness. He is so, so good. I said it on Twitter. I'll say it here. Tim Stützle is the most talented player in Ontario. I said what I said. I don't care if you disagree. I said what I said. He's the most talented player in this province by far. Every single game, he's a walking highlight reel. He does literally everything for this team. He's physical, he's talented, he's speedy, he's unbelievable. And, he's projected to have like almost 110 points, I believe. It's unbelievable how good he's been playing. And remember, a guy like Stützle in a down year at 70 plus points, that says all you need to know, you know what I mean? So, Tim Stützle here, nice patience on the zone entry, opens up the defense, gives it to Noah Gregor. Noah Gregor with an unreal pass in the slot to guess who? The hockey god, Adam Gaudette. 1-0 Senators. Adam Gaudette, what a story this is. It's unbelievable. Signed to a two-way deal, expected to play in Belleville. Played last year in the AHL, has been up and down for years. Gets another goal here to tie the team in goals with 13 on the year. A career high for him as well. 13 goals on the year for Adam Gaudette, the hockey god, on 34 shots. I mean, obviously that rate's going to slow down. That's like 1/3 rate, basically. That's a little insane. But it's not like, Adam Gaudette is, having a fluke with these goals. He is getting rewarded for his play. He's getting open at the right time and putting it in at the right moment. So it's not like these are flukes. He is playing fantastic, and it's a career year and a fantastic story as Ottawa leads 1-0 just 6 minutes in to the first period of play. That is now also 5 goals in the last 7 games for the hockey god as well. Ottawa, when they score first, 10-1-0. Not bad whatsoever. Not too shabby. But unfortunately, with just under 7 minutes left in the first period of play, Ottawa would go on to the penalty kill. The Islanders have the worst power play in the league, but against Ottawa, suddenly they are the best in the league as they would strike to tie the game at 1. Endersley puts it home in the power play off a rebound. Big rebound there from Anton Forsberg. Definitely want better rebound control from a veteran goalie like that. But Jake Sanderson out front needs to do a much better job at, being strong on Lee and boxing him out. He spun off Sanderson way too easily there, and there it is. That is 7 out of 8 games now where the Ottawa Senators penalty kill unit has given up a power play goal, and that would tie things up at 1 apiece. And then just under a couple minutes later, oh my goodness, here come the good old Sens. A couple minutes later, McLean is alone out front. Of course, again, for some reason, the Ottawa Senator defense and the forwards, everyone, the team, they love to let guys just stand alone out front in the top of the crease, just at the top of the blue crease. And of course, they're going to take advantage because this is what happens against Ottawa. It's McLean who puts one home alone at the top of the crease. Nick Jensen here, he needs to be far better. He gets completely outworked out front of the net, and of course, it ends up in the back of the net, just like the first goal against Ottawa. Just another disastrous play there by the D, a lazy play, and they get caught for it and they get killed for it. As Ottawa goes into the second period of play, now down. They should have been up, but they're now down by a goal. It's 2-1. Going to the second period of play, frankly shocking. I mean, the Islanders only had 5 shots in that first period, 2 goals. That's actually insane. And you can say what you want about Forsberg, and we'll talk about it. Not a great game for him at all. Arguably, both of those goals probably should have been stopped. The first one, you need better rebound control. The second one, yeah, it's a tip out front, but awkward goal to go in. The second one, I have a little more understanding for. You let the guy walk in. There's no defender out there. The first one, it's a bit of both. Sanderson needs to be better. But overall, the point is, Ottawa, unlike the last few games with Ullmark, was not going to get, those saves that maybe should have not been, stopped. They were going to have to win this game by scoring and scoring in bunches. And early on in the second period of play, just under a minute in, things are looking good. It's Tim Stützle doing Tim Stützle things. Another 2-point night for the German again. He's so casual with it. It's unbelievable how casual this guy is at picking up 2-point nights. Another 2-assist game for Tim Stützle. He finds Batherson alone out front after getting the puck from Sanderson. And great positioning here from Drake Batherson. And an unreal no-look behind-the-back pass right to the noof. Josh Norris, ka-ching, tie game 2-2 on the power play. Unbelievable goal here from your Ottawa Senators. And that's what happens when you have elite players. They do elite things. An unbelievable passing play. Stützle, great positioning by Bath. Bath, unbelievable pass to Norris, who comes in and reads that play beautifully, and Ottawa takes advantage of the power play as they tie things up at 2-2, and they would continue to play fantastic going into the rest of that second period of play, but they wouldn't score. They would not score for the remainder of that period, and that's why I kind of went on my tangent a couple minutes ago saying about how, Ottawa, they were going to have to really score in bunches and make up for the fact that their goaltender wasn't going to make those saves tonight, because he wasn't, and they didn't. Ottawa's literally outshooting the Islanders by double going into this third period of play. So, you would think things are looking good for Ottawa, and, early on in the third, they're generating chances, but they just can't capitalize, and it's so weird, It's not like it was a lack of effort tonight, I'll be honest with you. A couple lazy plays, and we'll talk about this here as well on this next play. A couple lazy plays, that being the Islander goal, lazy play out front. But Ottawa tonight generated a lot of chances. They looked good from beginning to end. It's not like it was a lack of effort night for Ottawa, which makes this, I'm not going to spoil the game, but it made it very, very frustrating what happened next year because, it's just so ridiculous. It's happening again against the New York Islanders. I told you to keep the 4-2 score in a game we should have won a month ago to the Islanders in mind because, yeah, you guessed it. The Islanders would strike to take the lead right back on the power play with just under 5 minutes left. With about 5 minutes left, the Islanders, they lead. It's so predictable, but also so frustrating. My goodness, we deserve better in this game. But at the same time, that's another power play goal, and Jensen left Palmieri walking alone, wide open. And yeah, you want to save there from Forsberg. That one glove side, you want to save, no doubt. But Jensen, not as great as game today. I'll be honest with you. That's another one there where he just lets the guy walk in. He needs to be far better on that one. He literally went in no man's land on this one. And Forsberg needs to stop. Again, tough situation for him, I'm sure. But you know what? When you're facing like 11 shots going to that point, that's the 12th shot you faced. Make a big stop. You got to make a couple big stops for your team as well. And he didn't there. And it's not, again, entirely on Forsberg, but definitely partially is on Forsberg. As Ottawa will be down 3-2. They would empty the net with a couple minutes left. And yeah, 4-2 loss. You guessed it. So it's the same old story as the last time we played the Islanders. You probably could just click off this. Don't. But you could click off this video. Go to my video recap against the Islanders, and it's probably the same exact thing, other than a couple of things. So, a disappointing loss for Ottawa. They outshot the... Oh my God, it's crazy. They outshot the Islanders 31-13. I mean, they absolutely dominated this game and deserved a better fate, but we are far past the time for silver linings. They need 2 points and they need wins, and they got neither. They got a regulation loss. And the biggest thing about all these losses against teams that they should have won against, these winnable games, they're slipping away, and they're slipping away in regulation, which makes it hurt even more. They're not even getting the loser point in the games they should have. So frustrating. And, they fall again to the Islanders 4-2, a game they should have won, and now they're back below 500 at 12-13-2. As I mentioned before, they haven't been over 500 for over 3 weeks at this point, almost a month. Since November 14th, they are now as well 4-2-1 in their last 7. And you know what? As I mentioned before, Ottawa going into this game 10-1-0 when they score first, now 10-2-0. A very rare time where Ottawa scores the first goal. And again, not only that, they look great, but they lose. It's just one of those games. As I kind of spoke about for a couple minutes earlier on in this video, I'm going to talk about it now again. Why did we not start Linus Ullmark? Now, again, I saw some people on Twitter saying, well, in retrospect, it's easier to say than, before the game begun. And yeah, that's a fair point, but I said it before the game begun. So it's not like I'm not being consistent about this. I'm being very consistent. Linus Ullmark should have started this game. I called it a couple of games ago against the Ducks on Sunday, literally last Sunday, where Linus Ullmark carried us against San Jose as well and against the Ducks, and was the big reason why we took 3 out of 6 points against those Cali teams. I said at the time, I said it the last game, I'm going to say it here as well, when your goaltender who's making $8.25 million next year, your goaltender who's a Vezina winning goaltender, your goaltender who started 50-plus games many times in his NHL career, yeah, he can start back-to-back games. There's 2 days of rest after tonight. They start a late one on Wednesday, 7:30 puck drop against the Ducks. It's an earlier one tonight. Sure, I guess on a back-to-back, it's a quick turnaround. But you know what? He's a star goalie. He's done it before. He can handle it. Ilya Sorokin literally did that for the Islanders tonight. So yeah, it's not a common thing, but a game like this where, as I already said, a win would have put us at least tied for a playoff spot. you want to build off that positive momentum. You didn't want to jeopardize that, and you did. And, Forsberg, he's looked much better as of late. Not tonight, though. Definitely a big reason why we lost. The defense out front of him as well didn't help. So it's not just on Forsberg. And I think blaming the goalie entirely is just a lazy excuse. It's not just on Forsberg. But any night your goaltender's giving up 3 goals and 12 shots, I mean, that's a problem, obviously. So, Linus Ullmark has been far better as of late. His last 4 games, .939 save percentage, 1.96 goals against average. I mean, in any situation, frankly, you should keep a goalie that's playing that well starting. Hellebuck, for example, for the Jets has started many games back-to-back. So I really don't get it. It's not like Ullmark is injured right now. He's playing very well. Looks like his old self. And more so, on that note, he's missed some games. He has not played a lot of games this year. So it doesn't hurt to start him back-to-back anyway. So I really don't get it. And again, you can say in retrospect it's easier to say, but I've been very consistent on this. I said it last night. I said it before the game began, and I'm going to say it again here. Ullmark should have started, and he's obviously going to start on Wednesday, but hopefully, he can get this team back into a groove, because right now, they really, really need it. It would be great, going into the winter break. I'm looking at my calendar here. After this back-to-back coming up on this weekend, Ottawa's like a few days in between some games. So there's a lot of resting time coming up for Ottawa. So again, really doesn't make sense to me, but we'll see how they respond with Ullmark in net on Wednesday against the Ducks. Now, speaking of, I spoke about it before, I'll say it again. Ottawa's special teams tonight was putrid, to say the least. They were a big reason why we lost this game. Again, not only on Forsberg. I mean, Ottawa's penalty kill was not great at all. As I already said, 7 out of their last 8 games, they've conceded a power play goal. That obviously is not great, but you're literally playing against the worst power play in the league, and you gave up 2 goals on 2 opportunities. That's just simply not going to do it. That's the game right there. So, yeah, Ottawa scored on the power play. That's great. But you expect that from Ottawa's power play. They're one of the best. The Islanders are far from that, and they scored on 100% of the opportunities tonight. So, again, that needs to be far better. It's very, very, very frustrating to see very good defenders like Jensen and Sanderson with lazy plays out front that, result with the puck in the back of the net. So, just a really tough situation there where Ottawa played a very, very strong game with a couple of mistakes, and that's all it takes. Now, I want to leave everything off on a positive note. So, Tim Stützle, 2-point night. This guy is unbelievable. And if you need any silver lining, it's the fact that Tim Stützle is the best player on the ice for either team every single night, unless you're playing like Connor McDavid or Nathan McKinnon or a few other guys. So, again, at least we have that going for us. That certainly helps. But, we need that win. We need that win against the Ducks to finish off this homestand. We are now 2-1-0 on the homestand. We got, Carolina on Friday, then Pittsburgh back at home on Saturday. So, a couple of tough games coming up. I don't care if the Pittsburgh Penguins have been struggling. That's a tough team, and the Carolina Hurricanes we always struggle against. So, that game against the Ducks on Wednesday is critical for many, many reasons, especially since there's a lot of space between now and those back-to-back on the weekend. So just to keep pace and whatnot, it'd be nice to get that win. But we'll see what happens. I'll see you Wednesday night when we take on the Ducks at 7:30 Eastern Time. Now with that, thank you all for watching. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. As always, I'll see you all soon. Go Sens, go.